Hello, welcome to this week's video on playing test number 2, Jubilee, number 26 in your book on page 6. Before we get started on playing the instrument, let's make sure we know the correct rhythm to play. You might notice that number 25, rhythm prep for playing test number 2. Let's go ahead and practice count, tap, clapping along with the audio track so we know what the rhythm sounds like. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. How did you do? Make sure that you're really confident on that rhythm before you start trying to play it on the instrument. The next thing we want to do is work on singing the piece before we start playing it. If we can hear it in our ear, then it makes it a lot easier to try and play it on the instrument. Remember, do is here, re, mi, fa, and sol. These hand symbols help us to remember what note is what. Sing with me. Do, mi, re, re, re. Fa, mi, re, mi. Mi, sol, sol, mi, fa. Re, mi, re, do, mi, do. How did you do? Can you sing along with the piece? If you can sing it, you're ready to start working on it on the instrument. Remember, before we start playing, we want to make sure we have our face set correctly with those corners back in that E shape and the mouthpiece over our bottom lip with our top teeth touching the top. You should get this pitch on your mouthpiece. Check. If you can hold that pitch steady, then you're ready to go. Let's break down each measure. The first measure, we're going to start on do, which we finger thumb, 1, 2, 3. The first measure is going to skip from do to mi, like this. Do, mi, do, mi. Notice how I lift my bottom 2 fingers. Do, mi, do, mi. Practice with me. Do, mi, do, mi. It's also great to practice saying the note names while you do that. Do that at least 10 times, or until you can confidently say each note name with the skip. C, E, C, E, C, E. If you can do it confidently without any errors, you're ready to move on. Let's take a look at measure 3. Measure 3 starts on F, or fa, with just the thumb down. Repeat after me. Fa, mi, re. Your turn. Fa, mi, re. Now try it saying the note names. F, E, D, F, E, D. Do that at least 10 times, or until you can do it without any mistakes. It will sound like this. There's one other skill in measure 3 that we need to make sure we focus on, and that is the slur. Repeat after me. Dee, ya, da. Go ahead. Dee, ya, da. Saying dee, ya with F to E is going to give us that slurred motion. Notice how I don't use a D on the second note. Dee, ya, da. If I say D on the second note, then it's not a slur. and it goes D, 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 and it sounds different. Can you hear the difference? That's tonguing everything. Here's slurring the first two. So make sure to focus on that D-da portion in measure 3. Let's look at measure 5. This is our next skipping note measure. We're going to start on an E and go up to G. Make sure when you go to G to have those right hand fingers down. Practice with me. E, G, E, G, E, G. The solfege is mi to sol. Practice singing and fingering. Mi, sol, sol, mi. Can you see my fingers change while I sing? Mi, sol, sol, mi. Your turn. Mi, sol, sol, mi. This is how it should sound on the instrument. Practice that spot at least 10 times or until you're making no mistakes. The last thing we want to focus on is measure 7, or the second to last measure. We see another spot with 2 slurred notes. E to D. Again, we're going to think D-ya-da, but we're on different notes this time. E, D, C. Let's practice the notes for that first. E, D, C. E, D, C. The solfege is mi, re, do. Sing with me. Mi, re, do. Mi, re, do. Try that 10 times with no mistakes. It should sound like this. You might recognize that as the beginning of Hot Cross Buns, but this is the end of the song Jubilee. Now that we've covered the whole piece in little sections, let's put the whole thing together. How did you do? Once you have completed this test, you're ready to move on to the next one. Congratulations! Make sure to keep playing at home, and we'll see you in the next video. Happy playing!